In times of resistance, people often ask, well, what is the solution? Just tell me what the solution is, right? What if I told you that there is a solution that produces the maximum result and requires the least amount of effort? In our previous video, we revealed what that solution is as part of Phase 1, Foundational Resistance. But systems evolve and they get savvy, and in fact, capitalism has out-optimized itself and has mutated into a more perverse form of capitalism, taking the form of corporate and tech feudalism. In response, this requires a Phase 2, a new frontier of resistance. And in this Phase 2, again, you have three things that you should do. First, what do we mean by corporate and tech feudalism? Well, let's use social media as an example. It's not the only entity with vendor lock-in, but it's the one that's most relatable. You create an account, you go to work, you start developing and publishing content, you're engaging with other content, all the while you're amassing a following. And you're building connections. You have accounts that you follow, and maybe you amass a huge following yourself. But none of it belongs to you. You see, at the top, you have the corporate and tech lords. They own everything. At the bottom, you have the workers, the people on the platforms working and creating content and engaging and amassing their following, etc. You're the workers. You're the serfs. And the platform where all of this activity is taking place and where you're amassing this following, that's the fiefdom. And the tech lords own the fiefdom. Anything that happens on the fiefdom stays on the fiefdom. If you decide to take your 2 million followers and go elsewhere, it's too late. Any work produced, any output, anything that happens on the fiefdom belongs on the fiefdom. It belongs with the tech lords. Let's say you got a few 100,000 followers, 500,000, millions in fact. You can't take those followers with you. They belong on the fiefdom. And your data feeds their markets, your content feeds their algorithms, and your attention feeds their advertisers. This is feudalism. But therein lies the solution. You still have power. You still have control over your data, your content, and your attention. The question is, where do you decide to use that power? Who do you give that power to? Are you okay with being the product, or do you want to flee the fiefdom? Well, here's the simple and unsurprising solution. Take that power, your data, your content, and your attention, and redirect it. Redirect it to decentralized and open source platforms instead. There are many of them. Some of you know who they are. So do a search for decentralized social media platforms and try one or two of them out. And decentralized protocols like ActivityPub and AT Protocol are open source. No vendor lock-in. You got 2 million followers, take them wherever you want. Now, the common resistance to the resistance is that, well, my friends aren't over there. Well, just be careful not to become part of a self-fulfilling prophecy that says, well, my friends aren't over there, so I'm not going to be over there, and now nobody's over there. And now you're resisting the resistance. Resisting the resistance itself. Invite them over. Some will come, some won't. It's okay. People are free to stay where they are. And by the way, over on the resistance, there's new friends. You can make new friends in the resistance. There's people over there. There's lots of them. And either they're already down with the resistance or they're just not with the corporate BS and might make some pretty darn good friends. So make new friends. Build community. You might find that there's people out there that are more aligned with you than your current circle. And I'm not saying ditch your old friends. I'm saying build community and get excited about the potential of that. And now you know. Am I comfortable being the commodity? Am I the product? A product that's not even bought and sold. Just sold. You don't have to live this way. In all seriousness, make better decisions for yourself if you're so inclined. You can abstain altogether from these platforms, be it corporate or decentralized. But I like the idea of redirecting power. So do a search for decentralized social media platforms and try one or two of them out. And flee the fiefdom.